Hello student, welcome to the lecture on change and development in India, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Describe structural change in India, discuss about acquainted with cultural change, explain to analyze the change related with modernization, describe the social reform movement, describe the change and development in India. Let us begin with the study of structural change in India. After the downfall of the Mughal Empire, a number of small kings and rulers could not establish central authority over the country. The unification started with the arrival of the British with the East India Company. The Golden Sparrow, rich and prosperous country, became a colonial raw material supplier due to poverty and exploitation. The divide and rule policy led to continuous plunder and exploitation. Consequently, on the eve of independence, the economic structure of our country was colonial, semi-feudal, backward, stagnant and depreciated. Partition of the country added to the worries. Cultural change. Culture can be defined as a sum total of learned beliefs, values and customs that serve to guide and direct the consumer behavior of all members of that society. Culture consists of traditional ideas, knowledge, beliefs, moral and all other habits acquired by the person as a member of the society. India is the birthplace of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism and Sikhism, collectively known as Indian religions or dharmic religion. Culture is acquired from the family or the region. When one thinks and acts beyond these boundaries, he is adopting a cross-culture behavior. Material culture influences technology. In the study of theory and concept of culture and its process of change, we study the structure of Indian society and its historical past. Some cultural changes are convenience. As more women join the workforce and relieve the daily chores, an increase in sale of products such as washing machines, pressure cookers, mixer grinders, frozen food can be seen, which makes life more convenient. Education. The people today intend to acquire relevant skill and knowledge to boost their career through many professional and career-oriented educational centers coming up. Physical appearance. People concentrate on physical fitness, good health and smart appearance, giving a boost to growth of slimming centers, beauty parlors and cosmetic for both men and women. Materialism. Indian culture is one of the richest in the world. People are spending more money on acquiring material products, adding to its status like air conditioners, cars, etc. It is greatly influenced by the Western culture. Purpose of celebrating festivals. In earlier times, festivals meant seeking blessing of elders, sitting and having meal together and staying in groups. But nowadays, festivals are being celebrated in hotels and cinema halls. Let us study a few traditional Indian festivals. Festivals in India are celebrated according to planetary changes, birth of holy men, thanksgiving to sun god and more as in holy books. In January, Bikaner festival of Rajasthan dedicated to camels is celebrated. Makar Sankranti marks ascent of sun in northern hemisphere. Pongal is a harvest festival in Tamil Nadu. In February, Vasant Panchami welcomes the spring season. Mahashivratri is followed by Natyanjali and Khajuraho dance festival. In March, Holi is celebrated. Akshaya Tritiya is considered to bring unlimited fortune. In April, New Year is according to the Hindu calendar and Good Friday by Christian is observed. May celebrates Buddha Purnima. June and July see Rath Yatra. In Orissa in monsoon, thanking God. In August, the festival of brother and sister love in form of Raksha Bandhan is celebrated. In September, Navratri is followed. October and November is home to many festivals of all religions. Diwali, Karva Chauth, Guru Parv, Bakri Eid, all are celebrated. In December, people all over the country celebrate Christmas and New Year. Modernization. In this segment, we will discuss about modernization. What do you understand by modernization? Modernization is a composite and ideological concept. It means to adopt modern ways, modern spirit and character. Let us portray the challenges and contradictions that India encounters in course of modernization. It was feudal, backward, stagnant and corrupt, hierarchy and heredity restricted intercaste mobility, and religion was full of superstition. Being modern means keeping pace with the times. In India, it required shedding off the image of caste-ridden, poverty-afflicted and illiteracy-dominated nation. A mixed bag of achievements in independent India has brought hope to see a modern India. A nation can proceed on a path of development only by discarding the baggage of pale centralism and conservatism impeding its ways to march on its strength. Attainment of literacy is the first and foremost step towards modernization. India was late in realizing the importance. Communal, sectarian and caste violence has been preventing social and economic growth. Low growth of population is a very important factor in path of modernization. India has been producing generation at a fast rate of growth. Elimination of gender bias and equality of sexes is important, which has been an obstacle in India's growth since women are ill-treated in every manner here. Modernization requires an economy to compete with best in domestic and international market. An isolated economy remains backward. To get rid of backwardness and attain modernization, our country needs to excel in agriculture, business, service and industry, which are made possible only by education and health. Besides the efforts by the government, non-governmental institutions are also required to be part of reform movement. Illogical superstition like infanticide, sati, etc. also harm the progress of a nation. Interdependence of nation and individuals lay the foundation of human civilization and its modernization. There is a difference between modernization and westernization. Modernization does not entail westernization. It entails a change in belief in the way the material world operates, whereas westernization entails a change in cosmological beliefs about the way one should live. Westernization. We have learned the difference between modernization and westernization. But what does westernization actually mean? It implies change in dress, eating, style, manners, etc. In India, modernization has come about due to westernization. India has a very old culture with being a land of sages and saints. Then with a change, farmers came and survived on land. As time changed further after independence, the scenario changed gradually. Westernization attracted people toward it, and people started getting far away from their own culture. The seeds were sown by the Britishers, which helped them to drain the country of its rich resources. As elites started following British culture, the general was not far behind. Let us discuss the present state of India. Westernization is so deep inside us that we can't think of running a nation without these things. Let us see example where westernization is at its culmination. Cinema. The Bollywood seems to be greatly influenced by the Western cinema in terms of dialogue, obscenity, vulgarity, exposure and money-making aim. Opting foreign countries for profession, the youth wants to move out of their own country to Western state because of money and Western resources, food and cloth items. Nowadays, more crowds can be seen at Adidas and Woodland stores rather than khaki showrooms. The clothing and eating style has been greatly influenced by the West. Sanskritization is a form of social change found in India. It means adaptation of values of a cultured society. It is the process by which a low Hindu caste, tribal or other group can change its custom and rituals in direction of a high caste. Through this, the hierarchical low caste can seek mobility towards upper classes in a period of time. It spread during the British rule with the development of communication and spread of education. However, these are intercaste changes and do not affect the fundamentals of caste system. Hence, any social or structural change cannot become possible with it. Let us study some factors which hasten the process of Sanskritization. Political and economic factors. The establishment of British rule gave opportunities to Sanskritization. Expanding means of transport and communication gave new avenues and opportunities of cultural contacts. Democratic system provided freedom to choose own lines. However, the lower caste face hostility from the middle class. Lower caste is liberal and positive but tends to become conservative with Sanskritization. The lower caste wants to move ahead with Sanskritization, but also wants to retain backward status to attend concessions from the government. Secularization is the transformation of the society from a close identification with religious values towards non-religious values. As the society progresses through modernization and rationalization, religion loses its authority. Secular values enhance unity and integration, economic development, political stabilization, social cohesion, and cultural pluralism. During the freedom struggle, secularism emerged as a dominant principle and became a part of written constitution of India. But in 70s and 80s, during Congress rule, communalism got a strong boost and started attacking secularism. BJP immediately got into action to support minority at the expense of majorities. This was supported by VHP, which resulted in Babri Masjid and Ram Janmabhoomi controversy. This gave rise to Shiv Sena and Bajrang Dal, who refused the contribution of Muslim and others in India's culture. A similar scene was re-witnessed in 2002 in Gujarat, where Muslim homes and business were destroyed. The reason for this fury was burning of train coach carrying Hindus from Ayodhya. The Christians are also being accused of being more loyal to the Vatican. Secularism introduces science, technology, and rationalism in the society and forms the basic of modern secular state. The secularization process and the accompanying movements increase the insecurity of fundamentalist forces. Secularism begins at the heart with a feeling of oneness. The development of secularism brought a radical change in society and culture, social reform movements and laws. As we move ahead with development in India, we realize that the reforms of social institution and religious outlook were a precondition for national growth. The British passed two important laws in the 19th century sanctioning intercaste and intercommunal marriages in 1872 and in 1891 to discourage child marriage. Socio-religious reform movements in India. In the 19th century, the process of transformation in all spheres started as an impact of British, which resulted in urbanization, modernization, industrialization of the country. This affected the traditional patterns of the country. The British administration and literature injected the youth with fresh ideas. Brahma Samaj. Bengal was the first to undergo reformation and resulted in three groups: radicals, reformers, and conservatives. Ram Mohan Roy is called the father of modern India. He fought against the poor condition of women in Hindu systems such as sati, child marriage, and illiteracy. His efforts were the foundation for Brahma Sabha or Brahma Samaj in 1828. The aim of Brahma Samaj was to save middle-class families from adverse effects of Christianity. Brahma writes, Debendranath Tagore took over the legacy from Ram Mohan Roy. He established theological schools, set up Brahma missionaries, and stressed on Brahma duties. Later, with Kashyap Chandra Sen, a new universalistic tendency grew, widow remarriage movement. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar advocated that a higher-class widow could legally marry, but it was not applied. However, this became an inspiration of all movements over the country. Satya Sodak Samaj. The reform awareness started in Maharashtra in 1840 with Chotiba Govind Phule taking up a fight against Gopal Hari Deshmukh's announcement of the intellectual and moral dominance of Brahmins over Hindu life. He formed an organization for improvement of low caste called Satya Sodak Samaj. Pathyan Samaj. It was formed in 1867 in Maharashtra and it linked with Bhakti tradition of Maharashtra same. Arya Samaj. It was formed by Swami Dayanand Saraswati in 1875. He attacked polytheism and idolatry of Brahmin practice. He believed in Vedas and in karma. Let us study about two reformers of India. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, 1838 to 94. His religion combined humanism of positivism with activist interpretation. His novels awoke self-confidence and pride for their religion in the Bengalis. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, 1857 to 1920. He took initiative to promote Hinduism. He inaugurated Ganesh Chaturthi and Shiva festivals, instilling pride in Marathi past. Summary. Now in the end, let us summarize what all we have learned in this lecture. Culture can be defined as the sum total of learned beliefs, values and customs that serve to guide and direct the consumer behavior of all members of that society. Modernization is a composite and ideological concept. It means to adopt modern ways, modern spirit and character. Westernization implies change in dress, eating style, manners, etc. In India, modernization has come about due to westernization. Sanskritization means adaptation of values of a cultured society. It is a process by which a low Hindu caste, tribal or other group can change its custom and ritual in direction of a high caste. Secularization is the transformation of the society from a close identification with religious values towards non-religious values. Reforms by the British. 1872 Act allows intercaste and intercommunal marriages. 1891 Act discouraged child marriage. Reformers in India established various institutions like the Brahma Samaj, Satya Sodak Samaj, Parthian Samaj, Arya Samaj for the betterment of the country and promoting their views.